What do YouTube? It is your boy Oathkeeper. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's up, guys? It's Oathkeeper here, and today we're joined by my very good friend. Introduce yourself, please.
It's your boy, Eternal J, you feel me? I know, ladies, calm down, I'll shake my dress later, but I'm here
Get
with my
off
boy
the
Oathkeeper.
stage!
He wanted me to, hop in on this, so, I had to, little collaboration, little song, you feel me?
Yeah. And also, not with Eternal J here, we're also joined by another good friend. We have Soro. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm on the watch right now, as in Overwatch. That is all I have to.
Yeah, he's here, but he's not here. So
He's emotional sport.
I'm here for the huzz, not for the. Oh, wait, no, other way around. I'm here for the breath, not the huzz.
yeah.
Ladies, back off.
So today's plan that I had an idea for, and shout out to Slykage and Seth the Programmer in 6 for giving me this idea. You guys are the goats. We're gonna do something a little interesting. We're gonna do Ichigo from Bleach, of course, versus Asta from Black Clover in their different forms, or over the years, or whatever you want to call it. So with me having a little bit good knowledge in terms of Ichigo, and then with Eternal J having good knowledge on Asta,
My glorious king.
it would be a good idea to do this video. And we spoke, and we kind of had good terms,
Good takes, I would say.
arguments, I guess, in terms of who does this and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're gonna get started. No more intro. So of course we'll start human Ichigo, or yeah, I guess human Ichigo, base Ichigo, what do you want to call it, versus no magic, no grimoire Asta, just like
Yeah, no, nothing.
like
So basically,
episode 1 or 2 Asta. So yeah,
yeah,
I'll give it
because-
to Eternal J to start off with Asta.
yeah, so we're doing that. So basically, Ichigo before Rukia had to give Ichigo's powers. So basically, these guys have straight hands. So what we had said before, and I'll just say it over again. So we both seen Ichigo fight 6 people on his own, straight-handed in combat, while we have seen Asta do absolutely no hand-to-hand combat. And I've made the statement of Asta has been training and working out since the age of 5, and the Ro Grimoire exchange or whatever happens when he's 16. Now, I will say this for Ichigo, like we said, he might have a sleeper build, because dude did a 1v6 and proceeded to call 6 ambulances before putting build to ass. So
Crazy
So-
feat, by the way, crazy.
yeah, that's a crazy feat. But at the same time, I did say I feel like between the two, because this is an honest matchup. With Asta being durable as he is, due to strength, of course, I feel like it would just be stamina for Ichigo. Because if Ichigo runs out of stamina or like breath while fighting Asta, because Asta is going to be tanking hits because he doesn't know when to block. I feel like Asta might win within that stance, but also if Asta can't box like Ichigo does, then I feel like Ichigo will be able to get more hits in and knock Asta out, getting through, Asta tanking as many punches as he can. So what we came to was like a stalemate, kind of like giving both of them 1 point, like a fair one-on-one like situation.
Yeah,
so
very,
both of them,
very situational, honestly. So like,
yeah,
it would be
because
both
Asta
points each
doesn't.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, because Asta doesn't have any like buffs or anything with because like I said before, he doesn't have his grimoire, which if he doesn't have his grimoire, he doesn't have a sword. And if his sword is in there, he has no anti-magic flowing within him, which literally he means he has no magic. There is literally nothing with Asta. He's a normal human being in an anime. Literally us thrown into an anime.
Yeah. So yeah, 1-1, of course. So next form would be fresh Shinigami Ichigo, like regular sword, versus like what? First appearance grimoire Asta.
Yeah, with his grimoire, he gets grimoire and his sword. So like,
Yeah,
it's not really like a
sword. He's a, what was it called? Demon.
Yeah.
Demon,
Demon Slayer sword.
Demon Slayer. Yeah. So for Ichigo, he beat a hollow when he first got the power from Rukia, and then beating other hollows at that point. And then when it came up to the part where Rukia had to go back to the Soul Society, because I think she had to be executed because she wasn't supposed to give Ichigo power and stuff like that, or to a human. Before that, he fought at Menos, and Menoses are strong in terms of they're like an accumulation of like 1,000 hollows, I think. So they're not something. I think sometimes even there might be like lieutenant level, quote unquote. Like they're strong. Like it takes a few Shinigami to fight them. So, but Ichigo ran in there, having zero knowledge of what it is. He just thought it's like it's another hollow. He blocked the Sero, and Seros are strong no matter what hollow shoots them. He blocked it, and two things: either he parried the Sero, or he like knocked back the Sero and slashed within the same motion on the Menos, causing it to retreat back into the crack in the sky or something like that. So he is strong. Of course, he has his spiritual pressure at that point too, but he's still strong enough in terms of that point. And then fast forward to the point where Rukia had to go back to Soul Society, he fought Renji, and because they're in the human world, Renji and I guess Byakuya was kind of slightly quote unquote nerfed because they're in the human world. They can't just let loose and release all their spiritual pressure. They would actually quote unquote kill the humans. So
literally level out the whole like place.
yeah,
Oh my god.
so
Yeah.
they so like yeah, Renji was putting hands on Ichigo, but then Ichigo locked in at some point and beat Renji at that point. But then Byakuya came and broke his sword. So
Yep.
Ichigo isn't a pushover in terms of his regular sword, but still like Byakuya beat him, but like still he was still strong enough to beat Menos basically on his own. I mean Uryu was there, but like he still almost beat it on his own, yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of
I was-
Asta, oh sorry, yeah.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, but for terms of Asta, I would say Asta has been running around, working out, like I stated before, but also running around with a gigantic wooden sword that literally resembles the Demon Slayer sword. And with the Demon Slayer sword, I don't know how heavy it is. I don't know how heavy Zangetsu is or what his Shikai like version of it is. But from what I know, Asta is able to swing that thing pretty lightly. From what I know, now other characters within the series, like Julius being the only one to pick it up and literally just hold it. Julius has said it is heavy for magic users, so if you have magic, it weighs you down a lot. Like you can barely pick it up. That's technically Milliard that's in your hand, and also it absorbs your magic. But for Asta, since he has no magic, he can pick it up lightly. It doesn't have weight to it, and it doesn't absorb anything off of him. Now, Asta, like I said, has been training with a wooden sword that looks exactly like the Demon Slayer from the age that he was 5 to 16. That is 11 years, and then even moving through the years of him being in the Black Bulls, I don't know, I think the first 3, maybe 6 months, he's there, managed to do a lot of things. We saw him on the way to the Royal Knights exam. He managed to fight a few beasts and stuff like that. So I would most definitely say Asta has more years behind him than Ichigo, because Ichigo's a normal human being. Why would he need to carry around a gigantic fucking sword? I am so proud that you farted, Kova. And so I'm not being biased with like, oh, he has more experience, because like, you know, like that's like saying Goku had, well, I mean, Goku learned every like martial arts and everything, like even adapted against freaking Sonic randomly. But still, I'm just saying like, I think Asta would win against Ichigo, because there is times where Ichigo at the beginning does whiff some of his like hits on his sword. And then Asta, you know, still has a clean slate of hitting all of his attacks. Now with the Demon Slayer sword, to be fair, can cut through most forms of magic and extinguish extraordinary effects like curses and mental influences, like the cave arc, not the dungeon arc, but where all the kids got kidnapped by Sally. He was able to tap a kid's head and release all the magic. Now, this isn't even with the Demon Dweller sword. This is still before he gets the Demon Dweller sword, which is his second sword. So if we were to put Asta and Ichigo against each other, I feel like Asta would have more knowledge with swords and understanding, you know, possibly Zangetsu, thinking that, you know, he can use some form of attack, like a Getsu Tensho, but like to him it's like a normal air slash or something. Now Asta, I don't think he can send out an anti-magic slash just yet, like this early on in the series, because if he's able to, it's kind of broken. But from what I am able to tell, Asta just has more experience overall. So by all means, I think it would be a stalemate, but at the same time, like Ichigo putting up numbers against Renji, we won't tolerate Renji hate with all his fraud moments. But I think Ichigo would probably take the win against this one, I think, or Asta, but it might be a stalemate. So what do you think, Oathkeeper?
Honestly, it depends. Like I'm gonna give a tie, but like I don't want to be blazing, but like you really have to. It's another like in this what if versus. It's all those other ones. Like how does ki or how does magic or how does spiritual pressure compete to this versus? Because you can't really just say, oh yeah, these are the same things, but in reality they're not. So I suppose Ichigo takes this one because yeah, both of them really don't know what they're doing, if you know what I mean. But they can fight. They just know that yeah, we can back a box. But they don't really know, like Ichigo doesn't know his name of the Shikai yet, and Asta doesn't really know how to, correct me, Asta doesn't really know how to use anti-magic enough, because he's like, oh, a grimoire and a sword, and he starts swinging it. Like, that's cool, but is that really magic, honestly? Like, so
Yeah.
I would have to give it to Ichigo, but if I could, I'd probably give it a tie. So yeah.
Yeah. So tie might be the best bet.
Yeah, tie would be this one. So yeah, so it's 2-2 right now, even on the board. Next, we could say, oh, want to say something?
No, you're good.
Okay. Next on the board would be Shikai Ichigo versus, what was it, Demon Dweller?
His second sword, his Demon Dweller sword.
Yeah, because we kind of talked about this. Like, Asta doesn't, like, sorry, what you, actually, no, we talked about, Asta doesn't really have a form until, like, later on. He just has different swords.
Really around episode 62, 61, 60,
yeah,
around
so,
that
like,
time.
So,
that
like,
time.
we can't really just say, like, Vasta Lord Ichigo versus, like, first, like, partial demon Asta. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
that would be very unfair.
What a stomp, like, Jesus. So we kind of have to give Asta, like, something. So, like, we're gonna say Shikai Ichigo versus Demon Dweller Asta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, so the thing about Shikai Ichigo, it took a lot of training for him to actually understand Zangetsu's name, but of course, MC, he got it. What's it called? He got it. learned his name. What's it called? Gave Kisuke some trouble. Broke his Benihime shield a little bit. Cracked it a few, or actually broke it in a few pieces or half. Went after to go to Social Side to save Rukia. Fought Ikaku, won with some injuries, of course. And then he went after, fought Kenpachi, which is not a pushover. And of course, like, Kenpachi easily beat Ichigo. Like, we've all seen it, but like, until Zangetsu helped him out, what's it called? Kenpachi should have won that, but Ichigo plot armor kind of saved him. So, I mean, I'd say, of course, they both stabbed each other, but like, I mean, yeah, we know Ichigo fell to the ground first, but then Kenpachi also fell to the ground first, or sorry, afterwards, and then he said like, oh, I kind of lost, but like, you're the last one standing up at that point. But anyways, after that, what did he do after that? I think he was.
You said he got patched up after Kenpachi, right?
Yeah, he got patched up after Kenpachi. I think afterwards he was gonna go fight Byakuya, but then Yorichi stopped him and said you need to learn Bankai first. And then Yorichi took him away to go learn Bankai in the span of 3 days. So yeah, that's where really Shika Ichigo really stops. Because after that would be Bankai. So Shika Ichigo isn't a pushover as well. Like it's kind of the same thing as just regular sword Ichigo, but just with a sharper sword and learning Sangetsu's name, and I suppose knowing Getsuga. I think at that point,
yeah,
I was kind of layered on in the Soul Society. So yeah, I guess the Ikaku fight was pretty good. He was really intelligent in terms of that fight, and he kind of one-tapped him. And I guess for Kenpachi, it was kind of just like okay, I can slash him. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try slashing him harder. Okay, that left a dent. Let me try slashing harder with Zangetsu's help, and then actually left the dent or an actual cut on his face and body, and then he cut his eye patch, and then that's when Kenpachi went quote-unquote full out. And yeah, they kind of clashed, and Ichigo allegedly won, even though Kenpachi was standing up last. He did verbally say, I lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really where
he said they lost right after.
Yeah, that's really where it stopped, honestly. And then yeah, so you could take on Demon Dweller Ichigo. Demon Dweller Ichigo, imagine.
Ichigo with Demon Dweller?
Demon Dweller Asta. Take it away.
So Demon Dweller Asta, this happens within the Dungeon Raid arc, where the Golden Dawns are also there. You know, our glorious, handsome, four-leaf clover man that everyone tends to praise. Demon Dweller happens halfway through the arc, kind of close to the end-ish, if you want to say the end, but I would say halfway point, where Noelle is absolutely manhandled by Mars, and Mimosa is trying to heal her. Netto, the bird, flies over to like this little cave that's inside the dungeon cave, and we see the Demon Dweller sword just sitting there. Now, we don't know the history of the Demon Dweller sword, but if I had to take a guess, because some way, somehow, Nero knows about it, maybe the first Wizard King knows, or something. But Asta picks it up, and he runs out to Mars, and he manages to hit a few slashes. Now, after getting absolutely obliterated by Mars, and he's on the ground, and getting stabbed, I guess, I don't know. Noelle is like injured, and she's like, Asta, you got this, you know, kind of like plot, you know, when the main character sees the Huz and they shout their name. Asta somehow gets her magic and slashes Mars and is able to use water magic. Now, the function is for like the sword is he can absorb incoming spells and release them as a blast. So basically, let's say you throw fire magic at me. I can simply just point my sword, the fire hits my sword absorbs it, and I can throw it right back at you. And then it can also reflect and absorb mana, and also has been used to launch powerful slashes of anti-magic. So this is the first time where Asta can use anti-magic with a sword, besides the Demon Slayer sword, because the Demon Slayer sword he didn't know how to use. So I guess he would have to understand anti-magic. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he can just, if he thinks about slashing, he'll be like, slash, and then boom, there's like anti-magic here and there, stuff like that. I can't vividly remember how it first went. I just know that like that sword lets him be able to use that slash. Any other times where he uses it is really not much besides the movie, which is sort of the Wizard King, which we got in 2023, I'm pretty sure. And so people gave him energy and stuff like that, and he was able to use it. He likes to also dual wield both the Demon Dweller sword and the Demon Slayer sword. Now, the Demon Dweller sword, I will say, doesn't have much leverage as the Demon Slayer sword, because the Demon Slayer sword is meant for heavy hits, blocking, defense, offense kind of situations, but also it's supposed to give a really good stun. And having that very good stun, of course, with Asta being right-handed, he's able to land that big blow, and that's why he always uses that, uses the Demon Slayer sword in his right hand and the Demon Dweller sword in his left, because you can block more, you can be more defensive with, you know, the Demon Dweller sword, but also once you get that good opening, that's a good stun and punish with the Demon Slayer sword. So overall, I think Asta being able to use dual wielding swords so quickly, and I don't even think he ever even trained with two swords. I think that's still extraordinary for someone who is 16 and going on a first big mission in the Magic Knights, you know, being able to just like quickly adapt and stuff like that. And also almost dying by getting a shard absolutely obliterated through the side of his abdomen. But
Yeah,
that's all for
both
Demon
these,
Door
both these guys
Asta.
are teens, by the way. Like throughout their whole adventure, these guys are teenagers, like 17, 16. What are they
Ichigo
doing?
was 15.
Yeah, these guys are young. Like, what are they doing fighting in a war where Soul Reapers are like 1,000+ years old? I'm like, hello, I just got here. So
Exactly. Like, why are you beefing with almost gods? Like, why are you
Yeah.
beefing with angels?
So I think we might have to give this to Ichigo.
Mhm.
Asta more likely just spawned with the sword and he's like, okay, I can absorb magic with this.
Yeah, like
That
if
is
we
all
put it
I
into
can
like
do, like,
a fight, we
Because-
have Zangetsu, of course, for Ichigo, kind of like giving him help, I guess, like literally a coach in the corner.
Yeah.
And then you have Asta. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say both of them don't have battle strategy or like battle smarts, like battle IQ, of course,
Yeah.
because that's what people like to say about Goku not having battle IQ. Asta most definitely have good battle IQ, and I think that's another reason why the author didn't give him more of a like coaching situation. Not till later on down the line during the witch arc, where they go into the forest with all the witches and Vanessa's like backstory, blah blah blah, where we meet, I think, Asta's trainer. Asta was trained by another swordsman. So with Asta having a creative mind and also being trained by someone who uses swords, if we put Asta versus Ichigo into the fight, I feel like Asta would just head straight in like any shonen main character, just jump in, no much plan of attack besides hit him really hard. But at the same time, he would look at Ichigo and like being realistic. Ichigo will be like talking kind of like out loud-ish and be like, who's he talking to? Or whatever, you feel me? But like Zangetsu is still there giving him like good comms, and knowing Zangetsu and knowing who he is, Ichigo's gonna slay him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah, so it would have to be like Ichigo takes this one, so it'd be 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next one would be Bankai Ichigo, like Soul Society Bankai Ichigo versus what's
Half Demon for Asta, because that's the next thing.
That's the
Like
next thing?
after,
Actually,
yeah, because
that-
after
yeah.
that, his arms got. Oh shoot! Oh my God! There's I just remembered the whole arc, but it really does nothing for Asta because it goes dungeon arc. I think the kids get captured, and then they go underwater, and then Asta's arms get permanently like poisoned or damaged, and he can't use his arms ever again. And then they go to the witch's place to go get it healed. He gets it healed, and then the crazy psycho witch takes over Asta and gives him his black form. Well, no, that's like after, but like he unlocks his black form after getting absolutely obliterated by some like side character.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so he awakens his half demon form.
This is actually pretty good because during that Bankai Ichigo fight against, I suppose, Byakuya, because that's the only person he fought, and I guess Aizen a little bit, but Aizen beat Ichigo in like 2 seconds. So remember, we can't really call that like a feat. I mean, actually, we can, because Ichigo did survive
Yeah.
like a quote-unquote speed blitz slash from Aizen, even though all he did was like bend his finger on his blade, even though that slash was supposed to cut Ichigo like from the waist across. So yeah, but good enough. We can actually say
Yeah.
this because we can say Hollow Ichigo, because that's when he got his Hollow Mask, and that's when White took over. So
So
it's a pretty fair match because we have.
I would say this though. So like if we were to match them up, right? Like, are we still gonna give like Ichigo that kind of like slight edge with like white Zetsu? Oh my God, white Zetsu. White Zangetsu comes out with a mask, because I mean he does show Bankai. Of course, I would say that is most definitely a form for Ichigo.
Mhm.
But like if we're talking about Asta's form, which is called Black Asta, which oh my God, that just sounds sad. Black Asta.
Kinda racist,
The-
I'm not gonna lie.
Don't shoot. This man isn't black.
But
But,
okay.
Yo, Dark Asta would be good. But I feel like that slight glimpse of holification Ichigo, we won't say that's like a buff or anything. I think that would be a great idea, I guess.
I suppose so, because yeah, Hollow Ichigo was kind of put in the hands on Byakuya, but then Ichigo's like, okay, let me rip this mask off, because like that wasn't me fighting, and like I want to fight my own battles.
Yeah.
In the end, he still won, but with the intervention of White. So
But like White didn't really do much besides like hold Byakuya on defensive, because like he jumped, put the sword on him, like on like pause by the way. Like he has a down slash on Byakuya while Byakuya is trying to defend himself. Besides like moving a little bit. But Zangetsu, I'm trying to remember his Bankai. But like both their Bankai, well,
Senbon
Byakuya's
Sakura.
Bankai wasn't really doing much. Yeah, it wasn't doing much. He wasn't even trying to attack him.
yeah.
So like really it was kind of like a little intermediate pause, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because we can't really. I think because that fight was a little bit situational, because Ichigo didn't really have knowledge about White. White just stepped in and is like, can I fight? And if this was a legitimate fight, we can't really put that what if scenario of like what if White intervened. We just have to put base Bankai Ichigo in there with versus demon half demon or half devil, sorry, Asta at that point.
Yeah.
Because Asta has, correct me, full control of it, right?
Asta, so when he first gets it, this is gonna kind of hard to dissect. So Asta, he got smited, like literally smite in his heart, fell to the ground. And so when he supposedly died, he went into like this interworld and he saw his devil, and his devil was like, let me take over. You're pitiful, you know? And also like, no, you're not gonna take over my body. But I'll take your power though, and literally grabs the devil, and it like possesses him in like a way, like in this like mental like transparent world, and it just goes up all around his arm, and he grows his wing and one horn. And so we cut back to reality, and he gets up. Now it does seem like it's a lash out moment where like he's just going all out, just like trying to supposedly kill this side of a character. But by the end of like the fight, Asta's in full control. So if I had to say, Asta has control. It just like maybe in like the first few seconds. Oh, well, never mind. No, because once he got up after getting the form, he said, never giving up is my magic. So yes, he has full control. Literally the first main character I've seen get something that seems like that they should lash out, but they have full control of it over it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Asta has full control, but is he able to use it many times, like unleash it? No, it takes him a while to like understand it. But just within that one moment, yes, he had full control, even though that has a huge strain in the beginning.
Yeah. So who really would take that fight? Like full control or no control? So we can't really.
If we was to say, well, of course Ichigo has like full control of Bankai, and then we're saying that Asta has full control of this. We don't. Well, I mean, I was about to say Ichigo is fast, but he was literally choosing to flash step around Byakuya.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Asta because he's a little bit more faster. He has anti-magic, literally literally it's conducting thunder and lightning off of himself. Like anti-magic is literally just zapping all around him. Yeah, and then also like it tracks onto any magic. Now, I mean, magic is no different than, let's say, spiritual pressure. So we can just say like spiritual pressure is the same thing as magic, as long as like you have ki, chakra, whatever, you can like kind of like attach onto it. So like even, and mind you, it did take Asta some time to like control that, because he couldn't control his body because it is anti-magic at the end of the day. It's going to want to negate any magic that is near. So with Ichigo having high amounts of spiritual pressure and him in Bankai boosting it even more, yeah, Asta's gonna be on him 24/7. Like, and maneuvering for him is gonna be easy because Asta can't fly. He can literally fly in this state. Ichigo can't. So literally, Ichigo's gonna have a hard time.
I mean, no, yeah, Ichigo can't fly.
I mean, they can step on air.
Yeah, they can like go up in the sky, but they can't stay there for a long time. To my knowledge.
For Bleach characters, they could jump in the air and just stand on air.
Yeah, like I know like they can like airwalk, not like Geppo from One Piece, but I know they can just be in the air.
I mean, some can glide, I guess. I mean, if you get thrown up in the air and then you like stop, then you can just like move.
Yeah.
I mean, how fast some characters move, it looks like that they're flying, but they're
actually, well, I was gonna talk about something, but that's like later down the line Ichigo. So I'll talk about that feat later when we get to that Ichigo.
Okay.
So
but,
I'd give that win to Asta at that point, because
I will list some of the feats for Black Asta, which is enhanced physical stats in strength, speed, and durability. So that's already in my eyes, that's already broken, because I mean, his physical strength in general is already absurd. And then you apply that, and then his speed is also increased. Durability is also increased, which strength in general and your durability is already through the roof. A powerful anti-magic aura and nullification and mastery of several signature anti-magic techniques like Bullet Thrust, Black Hurricane, and Black Meteor. So Black Bullet Thrust is literally taking two swords and literally ramming it through your body, canceling out all forms of magic. Black Hurricane is like a Beyblade, just with anti-magic, and it's him in it, just spinning in a circle. And then Black Meteor, I don't know how to explain Black Meteor in the best way, but it's auto tracking. That's all it is. If you have magic, it's going to auto track, and he kind of goes invisible and he looks like a reversed shooting star.
Yeah, so like if you picture like Ichigo throwing a Getsuga, Asta might counter with a Bolt Thrust and just maybe just pierce through it, I suppose.
Yeah, and so looking at it further, with his enhanced speed, this is going to sound funny if you want to pull up Ichigo stats for Bankai. His speed has reached and surpassed light speed, allowing him to move 1,000 times faster than light in this state. I did not know this. Great durability. Asta can endure significant physical punishment, such as punches through rocks, walls without injury. That is true. I will say that, because Asta in like base form, I'm not gonna lie, he can go through a wall, but dude, he's gonna be bleeding and actually like staggered.
Yeah.
The anti-magic powers is a passive anti-magic aura. He emits an aura of anti-magic, passively nullifying nearby magic. So yes, he has like an off-brand AoE that just literally is around him 24/7 when in that state where no magic could touch him. Air quotes, by the way, because some magic could get through, I guess. Anti-magic amplification, by increasing the amount of anti-magic he channels, he can boost his physical abilities. So yes, that's another thing. Like I said before, the Demon Dweller sword. I mean, not Demon Dweller. I think Demon Slayer sword. He can change and reshape the size of that sword. And then also, I'm pretty sure in some cases, he can like change how big his arm is. And then power nullification, his anti-magic can nullify attacks, traps, and other magical effects by cutting right through them. Signature anti-magic techniques, Black Hurricane, Black Divider, allowing using Demon Slayer's sword, he expands his blade, anti-magic edges cut through the most powerful magic attacks, and then Black Slash is literally just slashes that can knock opponents back. So yeah, honestly, Asta has way too many feats within 62 episodes of the anime.
If you kind of want, you can kind of just copy paste what he said and put it on Ichigo, because Ichigo has the same thing. He just has superhuman physical stuff, master swordsman, good hand-to-hand combat, acrobatics, other stuff, accelerated developments, willpower, I guess energy manipulation as opposed to his Getsuga Tensho.
I feel like Getsuga Tensho wouldn't be energy manipulation. Or unless you're like saying like he understands how to use soul.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't know how to do Kido, of course. That's not really that. Well, I think he. Well, of course, if he can feel Kenpachi's like deadly aura, at least he knows what it is.
I mean, I thought that was just spiritual pressure in general.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, because that's really what Aizen said. Like a battle between like anyone is just pure spiritual pressure. That's how he was able to create the Espada, because his spiritual pressure was very strong against the others.
Yeah.
So it's just about So I suppose but in terms of I guess Ichigo, his power or his attack is like almost like city level if you want to be like that. But like Asta's still kind of like thrown. I guess he won't one tap Ichigo, but Ichigo might put up a good fight, but not a winning fight. So
yeah,
Asta just has too many feats at that point. So we're gonna have to give it to
Asta.
Yeah.
My glorious king.
Yeah. So that's 3-3 right there. So. Damn, what would be the next? I guess next form would be either
a visor.
Yeah, like full control masked Ichigo. Oh, sorry, yeah, full control hollow Ichigo mask versus.
Okay, let me turn my time to think, because Asta doesn't get jack shit.
I guess maybe even more control.
His third sword, which is the Demon Destroyer.
I guess we can do that.
So
I guess we can do that.
Yeah, so we can give him this, because I feel like this might be a little bit, but I mean Asta still has an edge. So I'll speak more on like his devil being like his half devil form, more controlled. So I'll give it like a more deeper explanation when he uses it more.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So if you want to talk about Ichigo first, you can.
Yeah. So for Hollow Ichigo, just take what I said about Bankai Ichigo and like I guess times it by like maybe 5 or how much you ever want to say, because it's the same thing. It's just that he doesn't have the limitations of white taking over. It's just, yes, I train with the visor. I can use my Hollow Mask for, I think 2 minutes. I remember maybe he trained a little bit more with it a little bit after.
I think it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, so like, if you take into that consideration, yes, he trained with it. He knows what to do. He's not new about this. So nothing really changes between just amping his already existing abilities. He's
looking at it,
he's faster. His Getsugas are stronger. That's really it. He's just stronger. Nothing's really different.
Yeah, so looking at it, it just says Bankai is significantly weaker than Mask Ichigo, being because of the Hollow Mask provided with far greater power boost than Bankai alone, increasing his power level. With Bankai, okay, so while Bankai offers a 5 to 10 times multiplier, the Hollow Mask provides a more dramatic exponential increase, making Mask Ichigo in a more powerful state. Greater power boost, the Hollow Mask when used offers a dramatic increase, combat ability and spiritual pressure that goes beyond the typical Bankai multiplier. Enhanced abilities to boost the effects of all Ichigo stats, including strength, speed, and durability. Aranka Arc, he fights on par with Ukiyoda, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Bankai is just standard, which is just a 5 to 10. So basically, it's just Super Saiyan, but Bankai is just Kaioken.
Yeah, like he's strong. We're not gonna say like he's getting bodied like by Yami, of course. Like we're not saying that, but like he's strong to the point that what he said, he was able to go toe to toe with. Oh, sorry. Before I say go toe to toe with Ukiyoda, he was able to fight
Grimjaw fight.
He was able to fight Grimjaw. Well, actually, he did lose his first Grimjaw fight, but still, that was just base Bankai Ichigo, not holification. But when they ran it back in Hueco Mundo, this is not base.
Hold on.
This is release.
You got to remember though, he lost a second time after Rukia almost lost to Grimjaw when he had time on his side. Yeah. Well, not time, but like he said like I gotta make this quick, and then Grimjaw was just like, dang, you got a little bit quick, you got a little bit stronger. But I would go ahead and dip out. You feel me?
Yeah,
and then
so, like,
Hueco Mundo happened.
Yeah, their first 2 fights, Ichigo lost, but then he trained and all that stuff like that. And this wasn't against the base Grimjaw. This was his Resurrection. So like he was stronger than when he fought him in, I think, what was it called? Karakura Town, I think, and like the other place. So, and he still won, but Orihime was there, so he kind of got like amped.
He got that random Huzz boost.
Yeah, because if you look at the fight, at the end, Ichigo's mask was a little broken at the bottom of like the mask part, and he just stopped Grimjaw's attack with one hand and just smashed him across the chest. And that was the fight. So like, if you want, like, yeah, he won that fight due to technicality, I suppose, but we can. Yeah, and then of course he went on the Huecamundo run, of course, fighting everyone. Then comes Ukiura. So Ukiura, he's a funny guy. So the first fight, he was toying with Ichigo, of course. He's like, okay, I see how strong you are for a little bit. Then he popped out that Sero. This is Hollow Mass Ichigo, by the way. He's with Mel. He shot one Sero, and Ichigo had to run. No Hollow Mask or nothing. He had to run, but Ukiura was too fast and knocked him back. Like, I think back into the pillar or whatever. They were in Huecamundo.
Absolute dog walk.
Absolute, like, put the fear into this man. And then I think he was about to lose. Or I think he did technically, but he was about to lose. Then Grimjaw came out of nowhere, did something, and then sent Ukiura away. Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, like, I think it was so funny. Like, Ichigo's like, oh, you must be a Espada number like 2. And then
He's like, nah, nigga, I'm 4.
and then Ukiura like made Ichigo like slash his shirt just to reveal he was number 4, and he's like, oh no. And then
he just gets bodied.
just donut him, bro, like not through the stomach, through the chest, and he just killed him. Until Grimjaw brought Orihime. Sorry, no, he brought Orihime.
Orihime was already there.
Yeah, and then he made
And then
Ukiura like go away. I think he opened a Garganta and like made him go away. Or he did something. And then Grimjaw was like, okay, Orihime, heal him. And then she healed Ichigo. So, and then after that, they fought again. And then that's when he did the Hollow Mask again, but then this time he was kind of toe-to-toeing with him. He was kind of boxing with him. So at that point, they were like sort of even because Ichigo kind of coated his Bankai blade in like Getsuga, which kind of made him on par with Ukiura. But then until they got outside, and then Ukiura was like, "Let me show you my release," and then he went into his Resurrection, like his first stage, and then even in his base release, Ukiura was speed blitzing Ichigo.
Yep.
And then Ichigo was like, "Is that all you got?" Despite him getting God walked.
Is all you got.
and then Ukiura was like, "Okay, you don't want any fear in your heart? I'll show you true fear," and went in his Segunda. And yeah, that was it. We can't really give Ichigo any feats besides, I guess, surviving a little bit of his attacks. But then, the more Ichigo resisted, the more Ukiura had to show his power. So he, of course, beat him a lot. But what was so crazy is that I think Ukiura knocked Ichigo in the sky. Ichigo put his Hollow Mask on, I think for protection or other stuff. And
he put it on for protection, so he could take the hit.
Yeah, and then he was gonna block with his sword. Ukiura speed blitzed Ichigo, pushed his Bankai blade into his mask, into his face, cracking it or breaking it immediately, like it was butter. So, and after that, like, it was up. Like, Ukiura got his hands on him, pause, and and he wrapped his tail around his throat, and then he just put the finger to his chest and let that Sero fly, and yeah, that was it, and he killed him. So, long story short, what we're trying to say is that, yeah, Hollow Ichigo is strong, but he's not like Ukiura Espada level. So yeah, at that point, all right, I'm rambling enough. Let's go.
No, you're good.
Let's go to Asta.
So with Asta in his random leap of absolute stupidity and power, so Asta does tend to master it. So during the Royal Knights exam or whatever, he has 3 uses. He can only use it 3 times, I think. 3, maybe 2. I don't know. We're airballing with this one, but he uses it one time with Mimosa and Zora, and Zora kind of gets mad because he used black hurricane. I'm pretty sure it's called. I almost called it black tornado. Black hurricane magic spells, but he still managed to land multiple hits and stuff like that. Also, let's just say, for example, at the beginning of the series in the Royal Knights exam against, I don't know his name. I'm gonna call him Buha or whatever his name is. I kid you not, I don't know his name, but he had like a defensive like kind of like magic that he used. It was defensive but also offensive. Now Asta with just pure strength there, he managed to break through because obviously magic negation, slam down the character and break bricks right down under it and create a divot. Now if we're talking about Black Asta, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he can probably like destroy at least a city block with just one hit. And then also in the Royal Knights exam, Asta fully masters how to track people with magic and he manages to do that. He's also wielding his Demon Slayer sword way better than he once did at the beginning. Like, he's more fluent with it and understanding it. He also knows what sword to use at that current moment. Between the two, of course, we're still not the third, but we're gonna get to the third. And yeah, so then we get to the elf arc, which the elf arc. Asta is trying to maintain his black form. He's with Merliona and Zora as well. And, you know, they get into a fight. Merliona obviously carries because it's freaking Merliona. She's a crazy psycho woman. And so Asta, he doesn't use his black form until Licht comes out. And Licht has this sword. Or, I genuinely can't remember how Asta got that third sword. I apologize for people in the video that has also seen the Clover. But I genuinely don't remember how he got it. But it was just there. And Licht saw it. I was like, oh yeah, that's mine. And Speed Blasts Asta takes it and then uses it against Asta. And Asta both charge at Licht. Or well, no, Asta got bodied by Licht. Still fighting, surpassing his limits, because that's literally all Black Clover is all about, surpassing your limits. Tries to hit him with a backdoor pause, and Licht manages to catch on. And mind you, Yuno's also in like this elf state, so he gets that buff as well. Oh my god, this buffs. And Asta comes out the woodworks, surpassing his limits, fully using black, I will say black Asta, to the full extent that I'm pretty sure it can go, besides not enlarging his sword and stuff like that. And he manages to get his sword back after getting absolutely obliterated by Licht. Now, the Demon Destroyer, that's the name of the sword. The Demon Destroyer can nullify magic by severing its cause and effect. Abilities is this allows to revert magical abilities and nullify their outcome. So basically, from what it's saying, and I don't think it was really used in the anime all that much besides one time, he can remove the cause of poison magic and the effect of it. He can also remove curses and stuff like that. So it's another kind of like removal sword. It's very good for offense and defense, I would say. It's another light sword, which Asta has paired with the Demon Dweller more than the Demon Slayer sword. But when you got that sword, it was a little bit more useful, and I would most definitely say it's the second lightest out of the three swords he has at the moment. And it did help Asta a lot throughout that arc. So I would say Asta most definitely knows he's getting more experience. He can tank a lot more, and he's getting faster every time he uses his black form. And it doesn't have much of a strain on him. So I will most definitely say Asta definitely improved over the time from him first getting it, which is like around episode 60, where I think that's the episode. It's either 60 or 62, all the way down to like near episode 100. So he most definitely has mastered it, and especially with that sword, he has greatly improved. So yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think with this, even with like taking time to look through it all, I think I want to say Ichigo would win, but at the same time I want to say Asta would win. Yeah, because he has more time using it more than Ichigo using his visor. Yeah, because isn't after the Wake Mundo arc, Wake Mundo, it's like jumping straight into like the captain's backstory, then Aizen pulling up. I think so. So then yeah, I would say Asta having more time to like use like from I think Asta. Yeah. After Wake Mundo and all the other stuff, it's Aizen. A whole bunch of side quests. I see. I mean, but I feel like I would have to see, because I mean, most definitely Visor Ichigo is probably light speed. Yeah. Like around there. Mm-hmm. Honestly, me personally, I'd say a tie. Yeah, I want to say tie too. Yeah. So, what is it like? Okay, so is it 4-3 or? Oh lord, Mask Ichigo is massively faster than Light. His speed transcends Light-based attacks that even allow him to react to outspace abilities and perceive future, like Yhwach's Almighty. So this dude, okay, so Ichigo can technically see time. He has 4 seconds. Advice for Mask Ichigo speed: outpacing future, time warping movement, fast alert Ichigo, scaling from previous forms. So I'm not even gonna lie. Asta can also move faster than Light, of course, but also having that like transcendent Light, like his speeds transcend Light-based attacks. I mean, Asta can do that too. Can react to outspace abilities that perceive the future. I feel like Asta has that as a feat of himself. Like, I feel like Yuno might have that, but Asta, Yuno most definitely does. Asta, I don't know. But time warping movement, it says some interpretations suggest that Ichigo's final forms engage in temporal transcendence and movement beyond the constraints of casualties, which is a level of speed well beyond speed of light. I think Asta might have that as well, but that's just like a base feat for him.
Yeah.
And then Vassal or Ichigo, we already know. So I'm not gonna lie, looking more into it, we'll give it to Ichigo.
Yeah, at that point. So yeah, what's it like? 4-2?
4-3, I think.
Yeah. And then in the topic of Vassal Ichigo, he's the next one.
Oh lord, Asta.
Is he gonna have a sword or is he another form?
It's another sword. But okay, well, to explain.
Yeah.
Right,
you explain his sword. I'll explain Vassal Ichigo.
After the elf arc, there's genuinely nothing. Asta doesn't get anything. Like, there's nothing. The only thing that happens is literally the 6-month training. Oh, you know what? This is great. We can pull up the movie. The movie is next, but I mean, it's not really much besides the Wizard King situation. But it integrates into like the time skip. So we're gonna do time skip Asta. So time skip Asta takes place a little bit after the elf arc, because you know Asta goes to court and then he's not on a leash and then blah 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 blah.
Oh.
But then time skip. Yeah, pause. My fault. The leash part was a pause. Time out. Anyways, so basically, the way to put it, he goes to I forgot what kingdom he went to. This is terrible. Oh my god. And yeah, I'm supposed to be the Black Clover like nerd. So basically, he goes over there, he trains, but then something happens within you know, that 6-month time period, and that's when the older Wizard Kings come back, and they absolutely put BTA on all the characters.
BT.
And I don't know where Meliona is, because Meliona is just that character that she's like Piccolo. Pull up whenever, because we are ready to throw hands, but we don't lose, unlike Piccolo. And so Asta, he gets thrown around, he gets ragged on. Now within this part of the time, we don't see Asta riding on his sword yet. So but like he's buff. So that means, I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like upscaling, but we're gonna give Asta his base strength a ×5, because buffer means stronger, unlike Baki. Anyways, so Asta will say that he physically got stronger, and of course he probably doesn't have a limit to how many times he can use his black form in a day. He could probably just pull it out whenever. And so Asta, he also can, his anti-magic control is way better, because we see at the end of the film, he can literally turn his sword into like 3 skyscrapers on top of each other and wield it like it's nothing. He can pull out a whole Megazord sword and throw it at you. He's faster than majority of the attacks that were thrown at him: lightning, fire, water, light attacks, and beyond that. We've also learned that Asta can shut down your grimoire. I don't know how that works, but basically, with the key magic from the oh my god, such L names I can't remember. Fraudulent people. He hit their grimoire and managed to unleash everyone's magic. I don't know exactly if it cancels out your grimoire as a whole if his sword hits your grimoire, but if it does, that's kind of broken. Now, moving to the time skip, Asta can ride on his sword. Now you might be saying, how is that possible? It's just anti-magic control. I think that the way that they perceived Asta with having anti-magic was, okay, he has anti-magic, cool. We're gonna give him he's just gonna take longer to understand it, because it's anti-magic, not normal magic, where people, if you just have magic in general, like for example, you know, he doesn't even have a grimoire in the beginning of the series, but yet he can chop wood with wind. Like, it's kind of like that, but with Asta, he needed a grimoire to access that. So most definitely, anti-magic manipulation is through the roof. No setbacks on how many times he can use his black form. Now, when Dante pulled up, Dante, not Devil May Cry 3, calm down. When Dante pulled up, Asta got absolutely blitzed, and he tried to do his best. He used the Black Meteor and a few other attacks, Bull Thrust and stuff like that, still got pumped. Now, when Asta got enraged, I'm just gonna say this is Enraged Black Asta. Majority of his face was covered in anti-magic, and he was growing more horns, and I think had a second wing. Now we can just say that this is kind of like a off-brand Enraged False Devil Union. Now we're not gonna get into Devil Union just yet, but that does happen. And with that, he kind of puts up a little bit more numbers, but he still gets knocked out. Yami pulls up, Yami holds his own, and he shows us his dark magic thrust, or whatever it is, pause. And you know, Asta gets back up. He's not doing so well, so he asks Libe, his devil, for a deal. Give me actual anti-magic, like the true essence of anti-magic, and you can have my arm. And once Libe dabbled actual anti-magic, like its purest state, Asta's arm completely changed, and he was way stronger. Now, that version of Asta is very concerning, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. So from what it looks like, it says Asta is not a half demon. Well, that's not what I'm trying to see. I don't even know what's the name of the form, but like Asta sells his arm with Libe, and he gets a great power up, and there is pure anti-magic radiating off of him, and he is like, if I had to say, 5 to 10 times multiplier as well. And Asta is moving fast with Yami. Yami's doing the same thing, and I will say that this is a beyond light speed, or even like, trying to think. Of course, it's faster than light. We've been over that, but I don't know the like levels of speed. So I'm gonna just Google where like the levels beyond light speed. So there's light speed, infinite energy. There's like no like level, but if we had to say, I would say beyond infinite speed, maybe, if I had to say. But Asta as a whole, when he gets that kind of like power up, and Yami's katana, which I can look at right now. The katana allows Asta to target specific objects and individuals with his cuts. This innate ability makes incredibly use of precision attacks even in the heat of battle. So overall, that is Asta's next kind of like upscale power scale. So yeah, not much there besides full understanding of anti-magic. Well, not full understanding, but like grasping it more, getting closer to understanding what it is and what he has, and also getting the katana from Captain Yami and absolutely taking L's. And now it's Oathkeeper's turn for Ichigo. It's a little bit easier.
Yeah, so, oh boy, that's a little Ichigo. What a monster. So, after Ukiyo put a hole through his chest, White was like, my turn. It's my turn. And he took over Ichigo's body, went full hollow, and just saw red. He didn't care who was. I mean, he cared about Orihime, of course, but he didn't care about who was on the field. He just, one of Satan's greatest soldiers. I'm joking. So what? Real talk. Basketball Ichigo, he's no joke. He dog walk, bodied Segunda Ukiura to the bone, man, to the dismember, like everything. He just pulled up, Mjolnired his sword, casually swung it back, and created a shockwave that just broke the ground. And then he was able to dodge Ukiura's, mind my pronunciation, Lazaro Impago, I think that's what it's called, that spear mode, that spear thing where he throws it and can use it as a spear. And that thing is strong, man. He threw it, that's what Ichigo dodged it, but like the explosion was like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And with that, it was just music to people's ears, man. Like, yes, Ukiura was kind of putting up, but as the more they fought, the more Ichigo started winning, and the more that Ichigo started overpowering Ukiura. He speed blitzed him as he was about to throw his spear thing again. He stopped it with his left hand, crushed it, and just slashed him across the chest, up, down. Stomped. Oh, also I forgot, he clashed Seros with him, with his own Sero, which kind of beat Ukiura's Sero Oscurus, which is not a regular Sero. So, also, he speed blitzed him, grabbed his arm, and cut it off as well, with also hitting it with him as well. And after that, after he cut him down, stomped on his face, launched a Sero point blank to his face, to his body, leaving Ukiura with just half of his body, one arm, and Ichigo just holding him up. That was just, it was a dog walk. Like, everyone knows that. And even though Uriel was there, and then he didn't really stop. Although Ichigo, he kind of just put his hand on his sword. He's like, hey man, like, that's enough. He's kind of defeated. And then Basketball Ichigo kind of just, he's like, move out of the way, and just, I think either he stabbed him or he threw his sword into his chest, and I think it hit him. And then I think afterwards he was about to fire another Sero at Uriel, but then Ukiura like regenerated and then cut his horn off, causing the Sero to kind of explode on Ichigo himself. And then afterwards, that was it. He kind of just reverted back to regular Ichigo. And then also, I don't know if this was also a good thing to mention, but in Hellverse, which is, I think it's a movie, like either prior or after Huecamundo or whatever, and Ichigo also went half with the Vassal Lord as well. And it was stated that like his Sero, like, it was so fast because Hell is like, or how they showed it, Hell was kind of like a big place, and his Sero kind of like speed blitzed the whole place. It was fast. It was fast, and it was a crazy thing to see, because like most movies you kind of see, but like, oh, that's not really canon, but like this one was kind of canon because even Kubo stated himself that like, oh yeah, this movie's canon and other stuff like that. So like, still, like, Best Level Ichigo isn't a joke to be reckoned with. So yeah, that's no day, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to take this one. I'm gonna have to give this one to Ichigo because that is a huge jump, unlike Asta. Because, bruh, my goat's gonna have to take an L on that one.
Yeah.
So the next
Yeah,
thing,
5-3 right there.
yeah, 5-3. So Ichigo's up 2, Asta's at 3. Next, this is where we finally get to see something happen with Asta. We're done with using swords now. Well, he still uses sword. We are on to the inevitable Devil Union. So Devil Union, you might be saying, what's Devil Union? After Asta got absolutely mollywopped, manhandled, tossed around in the dryer, Asta goes into training with Nock. Nock is the vice captain of the Black Bulls who has been surveilling or being a underground UAV through shadows in the Space Kingdom. He comes back because he knows that there's someone that possesses a devil. Now, he takes Asta to like this ritual place. Asta fights Liebe, aka his devil, and they fight. Blah blah blah. We get a backstory of Asta's mom, but Asta still doesn't know his mom. But Liebe goes like a slight hint at her and stuff like that, and they become best buddies. Like, oh my god, guys, tea time. And not just like it's not over yet, even though they all have like this bond / like karma seal / like 8 gate situation. Y'all still gotta learn Devil Union. So they learn Devil Union, and they can only use it for, this is the craziest, but like 15 minutes, 5 minutes maybe. And so you might be saying, how far does Devil Union go? There are so many stages to Devil Union. I'm just gonna read all the feats of Devil Union as a whole because there's like 3 different Devil Unions. You have the Devil Union that like first happens. You have the second Devil Union where like he fully mastered it, and then there's like another time where like he just, I guess, gets upscaled or just like fully. Oh no, where like he's fully, like him and Liebe are fully in sync. Right? It's like Devil Union. The form looks like armor. Kinda, in a sense, like anti-magic armor with Liebe. He has both wings. He has all 5 horns on his head, and yeah, so it's kind of like that. And he also has a devil tail, which I really love. So the feats are amplify strength, speed, durability, the ability to layer anti-magic, regenerate from injuries, negate non-physical magic, and selectively interact with intangible targets. I'm not gonna lie, that's a huge step up. He gains the characteristics and traits of his devil that can adapt to anti-magic swords to be more lethal and negate magic to on a larger scale. He used these enhanced capabilities to overpower devils higher, which we have seen with Lucifero and the twin girls as well, and stuff like that. So the enhanced power on physical and anti-magic abilities, amplify power, blah blah. Swords. All his swords can change shape and size in Devil Union, allowing them to deliver fatal blows and deflect the larger attacks. Magic Eraser. His Demon Destroyer became more powerful, even though that magic is larger. Erasing magic within a larger area, not just on contact. Incorporating double traits, the form allows Asta to integrate a specific characteristic of his devils into anti-magic, potentially leading new abilities and transformation based on it. Impressive feats that he has is overpowering powerful mages, Mana Zone nullification, and countering specialized magic. Mana Zone is basically like a whole AoE room that lets you like amplify your magic to a greater scale and lets you have like absolute hit. Think of it as like a domain expansion, but just like mana, and you don't really get that much of an amplification, but it's still a good amplification for yourself, and you know the other person doesn't really have much of an advantage basically. So something like that. Devil Union has a good record, and going back to Yami's katana, I'm gonna speak on with the Devil Union and using that katana, Asta could choose what slash hits what, and if it doesn't hit. So for example, let's say me and Caleb are standing in front of each other. So like I'm in front of Caleb, Caleb's behind me. If Asta hits that attack and he's like, I don't want to hit Jay, the slash, I'm pretty sure, would not cut through me, but it will cut through Caleb. So kind of like going through, I guess. It hasn't really been explained very well, but yeah, as long as Asta isn't thinking about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hurt you, then it's fine. Like a parallel Noel situation. But yeah, Devil Union is most definitely a big upgrade and most definitely enhances a lot of his feats and strength and stuff like that. And with the 3 different variations of it, where it looks like armor, and then it's kind of like his cloak variant, where it's like a circle on his chest with a 5-leaf clover. It's like more of a settle look, calm, and then you know the full armor, like I said before. And then there is a different variation of it as well. But the Devil Union 4th Sword Demon Slasher, that's what you need with the katana. I think there is a panel, if I can pull it up. I don't know where the panel is. I'm probably gonna have to take my time to find it. But Asta, yeah, so the way that Devil Union is sometimes, it's not even just armor. He can be like lacking in some stuff, but it'll still be around his headband and his arm, of course, because he sold his arm to Liebe. But it's not even armor. It can just be like his it looks like he's in his base form, but he's really not. You know what I mean? But it's this is someone who went against Lucifero and got stomped on, resurrected, and still managed to plant hands on Lucifero and win. But this is most definitely a significant jump for Asta. So hopefully he gets to move up behind Ichigo. Yeah. Your turn, Mr. Oathkeeper.
So, I wasn't sure what to say, but I guess the next form of Ichigo would either be post the Vasto Lord or just straight to Dangai. But it makes no sense because post Vasto Lord Ichigo is just Hollow Mask Ichigo, but his Hollow Mask is different. Like, it's more Vasto Lord-esque marks on the mask, which I don't think it matters because during that point, Aizen is still stronger than like everybody at that point, so there's nothing really to talk about. But I guess Dangai would be the best bet. So when it comes to Dangai Ichigo, his training was kind of good and kind of just lucky because during that time, Aizen in the what was that place called? It was this
what?
It was this it's kind of like corridor, but like it was kind of like a fast travel thing where like there was a cleaner.
I just farted again, but this time on my phone.
There was this cleaner, and like it would come through like every soul, and Aizen just.
Oh, are you talking about where like he's running through like this weird pocket dimension with Unohana?
I think so.
Is that what you're talking about? But, like the bridge between the Soul Society and
I think so. I think it's that.
Katakota Town.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what's the place name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's that place. So, and there was a cleaner, and it comes through like every so often or something like that. And Aizen just like blinked or glared at it, and he destroyed it. And then because Ishin was with Ichigo, which is his father, Ishin's like, wait, Aizen just sort of cleaner. This might be a good place for you to train the final Getsuga potential. And he's like, okay. And then he went into his inner world in Bankai, which he'd never done before. I think he just gone there and using Shikai. So, what it took to get to become Dangai Ichigo is because he went into his in his inner world, in his Bankai state, and when he fought White, it wasn't, or I think no, it was he saw White and then he saw Zangetsu, but instead of old man Zangetsu, he saw like a younger Zangetsu, and then beside him, he saw like I don't know, something around like I think he grabbed like Hollow Ichigo out of Ichigo, and like when he yanked him out, he looked like just the same way I was Vassal Lord, but just like white and black. So. And then at that point, they fused, and Ichigo had to fight like a hybrid Zangetsu Vassal Lord Ichigo type of like opponent, and then Zangetsu or both of them didn't want to teach Ichigo to fight against the potential because they knew the limitations or the drawbacks, but he didn't. He just wanted more power to save everyone and then beat Aizen. But so they fought for I don't know how long, but they fought for a long time that Ichigo's hair started to grow longer, and then at the point. Zangetsu's like, okay, I can't really get through to you, so Ichigo let himself get stabbed by the sword, causing Zangetsu to cry because his whole plan or his whole goal was to protect him, not to be just a power that's just here for. It's kind of like Kurama. He wants to protect Naruto. That's his soul thing. Like, yeah, he's sealed or they're like in his head or in their mind. He wants to save them. So he was crying because he knows what's gonna happen. And then I think Ichigo started to realize what's going to happen as well. So, but he knows the risk at this point. So he's like, it's either that or I don't save everybody. And then fast forward that, comes out of the place with his father. I think his father was like he was helping him train or something like that. Which caused him to like, I think pass out or something like that. But then Ichigo brought him out, appeared in front of Aizen, which is like, he was in this like different because of the Hogyoku. And Aizen's like, are you Ichigo? Because Ichigo had different spiritual pressure that wasn't normal. So then he almost like, oh, I almost didn't notice you. And boy, oh boy, he really put BTA to Aizen, man. He speed blitzed him, gripped his face. He's like, I want to fight. Let's go fight somewhere else. He gripped his face, gripped the gold man's face, by the way, and just yanked him up, flying through the air, and just chucked him on the ground and into another area. And then they started boxing, and of course, they clashed swords, and then. There's this infamous scene where they clash swords and then they break like a mountain behind them, and then Aizen's like, do you understand the true nature of my power? That my blade is easy to break a mountain. And he's like, oh really? You sure that was your blade? I think that was just a clash of our blades breaking the mountain, not yours, or something like that. Some quote like that. Like he was like, yeah, like that's not really your power. Yeah. So they fought, and then Aizen's kind of like, as he keeps like trying to, as the Hogyoku keeps evolving and stuff like that, Ichigo is kind of like almost adapting to it. He kind of speed blitz him and kind of slashes him in the shoulder a little bit. And then he even got back in blood and grabbed his sword, just like he grabbed his sword in the Soul Society arc, and then stopped it. And Aizen's like, that's impossible. Like, what are you doing? It makes no sense. And then Aizen evolved into like this alien state or whatever. That's what people kind of dub it as. And then he kind of caught Ichigo off guard and stuff like that. Like kind of like burned him a little bit. And if you want to include this as like the same form, he says like, okay, it's now or never because you're kind of healing too much, or you're kind of evolving too much. So he pulls out the final Getsuga Tensho. And up until that point of the story, the final Getsuga Tensho was stated to be stronger than basically anything in existence, like stronger than I suppose any other. I would allegedly say any other captain at that point, because if you've seen it, it literally basically de-atomized Aizen. If it wasn't for the Hokyokyu, he basically de-atomized him entirely. Aizen only survived because of course, but in the end,
the plot.
In the end, Aizen survived momentarily until Kisuke came and binded him with the Kido spell he had, and then trapped him in this thing. But sadly, the drawback of the final Getsuga Tensho is that it wiped all of Ichigo's power, leaving him. Well, it didn't wipe it immediately. He still had like remnants of his Soul Reaper power, but after that, after he went to go back to the human world, back to Karakura Town, he went to go say his goodbyes to Rukia, and then he slowly stopped seeing her because, of course, Shinigamis are basically ghosts. You can't really see them by normal means on the street. Shinigami as well, or just Ichigo as well. So when he, when Rukia started like slowly fading away, that's when he realized like, okay, I'm no longer human, or no longer a Soul Reaper, I'm turning back into a human. So sadly, that's the case. In terms of power, yeah, he's transcendent. I hope I said that right. He's kind of on the same level as Aizen would be with the Hogyoku. They're on different levels. It's still about a spiritual pressure, but their spiritual pressure is so high in power that it almost can't be felt. Like Ichigo's friends didn't even know that was him, because yeah, they're ordinary humans, but they can still be like, is that really Ichigo? Like he seems different, or he feels different, or something like that. So yeah. In terms of who wins, oh boy,
I feel like Ichigo slams. like I was hoping that Double Union was like good, but then now I'm cooked.
Yeah.
All right, next. Oh, I feel bad because Asta doesn't even really get power ups like that. 6'3". Oh god, this is terrible. I should have done Yuno because Yuno would have so many like upscales. Oh god. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Asta gets absolutely nothing throughout the rest of it because Yuno gets a second grimoire. Ugh. God, I hate that nigga. Okay. Next is Zenin, Asta. This is like the last upscale that we're gonna get besides like fucking him dying at the current moment and getting back up. So we're getting to like the end of the manga at the current moment. Well, not the end of the manga, but like catching up to like where the manga is like at. Okay, so Dark Triad defeated, blah blah. Spade Kingdom's cool, blah. We don't care. Asta, he's getting some like grand medal or whatever. And then something happens with Julius. Julius tweaking. Oh wait, no, before that. My glorious King Asta asks this day Lily one last time as he hits the ripe age of 18. Will you marry me? I view you as a brother. I hate that nigga. All my dead homies, we jump in Sister Lily. I'm joking. But he takes it like a man. He takes his 11,000 rejection like a man, and he walks off. And then I don't even know what happens to Julius. I can't remember now. But Lucius takes over. He's like, oh yes, Asta, you're the reason why my plan's about to like lately be absolutely obliterated. I gotta kill you. Proceeds to erase Asta. And so everyone's like, oh no, Asta died. He's off the map. We can't even sense him. We can't even find him. Not even with the collar thing that they gave him during the court. And somehow he gets teleported all the way to like a whole different part of the world where Captain Yami grew up and Captain Yami's sister is there. They use this ability called Zen. Hold on. Give me 1 second. My spelling sucks. I gotta remember what how Zen works. Okay, so Asta goes over there. He sees how everyone uses Zen and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. He uses it and he can do it with anti-magic. This is where I feel like we make a breakthrough with Asta against Ichigo, because Ichigo relies on a sword. Oh, you're about to witness peak. Zen is advanced key manipulation technique where users consistently convert their life energy, aka ki, into anti-magic, aka Asta's anti-magic power to amplify its increasing stats, spells, and overall impact. So, let's say you have magic, right? You can control all the ki in your body, take your hand, do a simple slash down, and you can release magic in a higher condensed, more advanced way than just using a spell. And this also helps with making your spells even stronger, right? And with Asta, he can release anti-magic from his hand, and it actually, you can see it actually erase stuff. Like, he's not just only erasing magic, he can erase trees, houses. We are talking about this dude can erase matter. We're climbing up there. And so how that works, like I said, is key manipulation, just just condense it as best as you can, manipulate the flow of your own life energy. Power condensation is kind of like the same thing to increase your power, and amplify. Anti-magic conversion, when used by Asta key, convert it into anti-magic, the power is further amplified. Zen can amplify all the user stats, increase the range. Yeah, the technique is increase range, other powers. And then spell amplification can literally amplify spells and include hacks abilities. Notable feats: Asta's Karate Chop. Asta uses Zen to Karate Chop Bamboo Tree from a distance, showing increased range. Power Manipulator Zen can act as a 10 to 100 time power multiplier. Sky Severing Feat, which I was about to get on, but I didn't know that they had it here too. The name Zen literally means sky severing, and named after the creator's legendary feat, splitting the sky with it. So, my glorious 5-foot king can sever, yes, the sky, which we obviously seen Ichigo do, but this is a feat that we're talking about that can't be blocked. You can't block it at all. And like, yes, you could be moving, but once it hits, it lands. It's an absolute hit. And then even if you stack it with Mana Zone, it's even better. We haven't seen Asta be able to use it much yet, because I mean, he got folded by Lucius. Lucius is a purified devil that turned into an angel and now wreaks havoc and thinks that he's bringing prosperity and making the world better, which of course he's not. Zeton, in the manga, I'm gonna see if I can pull up a panel. I like how they explain it. So where is it? There you go. So in it says, key is the flow of life energy, and everybody manipulates it unconsciously, turning it into Yoriyoko or Ryuko. And but the person that's telling him, aka Yami's brother, told her sister to manifest it, make it erupt all at once, and you do a super precise version of what of that on purpose, and then it's inside of yourself. Like, you can see it. And like Asta, this is the only time where Asta can kind of see magic, I guess, but it's more key than anything. And so so that's the only time that like Asta is able to see anything. And so yeah, it's kind of broken. It's very broken. It's not, I mean, it is key, like I said, life energy and stuff like that, but it's really just condensed magic power into one area rather than distributing it all over your body, pretty much. And when it erupts, it creates a greater impact in speed and power as well on its own, which I think is a huge leap for Asta to get up there. And yeah, like I said before, it gives you hacks, like the HAX, not the actual literal like hack like wording. But that's Asta's next jump. But Asta mixed with W and Zen, from what I've heard from Broku, he is beyond planetary, possibly universal as well, Asta. So, I mean, this is the state that Asta's in. I could probably pull up Broku's video and like kind of see that at the end of the video. But overall, Asta has made a significant jump from the Dark Triad, most definitely all the way till the current chapter that we're at the current moment. So that's Asta's, I guess, last ability before the manga ends or whatever we get on the 30th, because we're getting some new chapters soon. So it's your turn once more, Oathkeeper.
Yeah, listening from all that, I think the next Ichigo after that kind of loses, because the next one after this is Fullbring Ichigo. So this is like okay, no, the thing is that I'm doing like when he unlocks, like according to Wiki, it's called the complete Fullbring, not Fullbring Zanpakuto, when he gets the power back from all the other captains. So this Ichigo is literally a couple weeks or months after he loses his Soul Reaper powers, and he's like, man, I miss being a Soul Reaper, and I think he still has his Soul Badge. And then a guy named Ginjo comes out and helps, and he's like, I can get your powers back. You just have to come join my group. And he's like, okay, whatever. And he goes to join them, and he has like other people, and then there's like other Fullbringers that are like, they have like Soul Reaper-like abilities, but they're not really Soul Reapers. They have like quote-unquote half abilities, if you know what I mean. So, but they still have all the basic stuff. Like they have flash step, they have some weapons and stuff like that. So Ichigo's weapon when he was training was mostly his Soul Badge. And his Soul Badge at the time when he was training acted kind of like as like a disc frisbee thing that could slice through things, and he could use as a weapon. But the more as he trained, he kind of still started to see his Soul Reaper kind of side kind of slipping out or peeking out. and then there was a time that he fully manifested it, having kind of like a bone-ish armor type thing around his neck. But during that time, there's a guy named Tsukishima, and I think he was the leader of the former group. Pretty sure he was. I think so. Or I think I was also at the time. So, but I think Ichigo during that arc, his friends were kind of acting a little weird. It's like, who's Tsukishima? I've never heard about this guy. And then, but Tsukishima using his Fullbring ability, it's kind of like Aizen. He's kind of manipulating everybody, but kind of on like a full like way. So that's why during that time that Tsukishima kept like manipulating everybody, like his friends, or Hime, Chad, his own sisters, and I think his dad too, but I could be wrong there. But during that time, he was very furious, and at any time like he saw Tsukishima, he's like, oh, it's on site. Because one time Ginjo invited, he's like, oh, Tsukishima wants to see you. He's like, he wants to see me. And they got to this house, and then that's when he said it's always on site. And then Ichigo, I guess, spawned in his armor or something like that. I don't know how he did it. And then he started attacking and fighting Tsukishima. He was kind of dogging him a little bit, but then, what's his name? I think Orihime came out of nowhere and just healed Tsukishima's wound. And then Ichigo was kind of devastated. He's like, why are you helping him and not me? And then at that point, it got so crazy and other stuff like that. And then it was like revealed to Ichigo that Ginjo and Tsukishima were working together just so that they could like become strong or something like that, or become like something like, I don't remember. And Ginjo's ability, he had his sword, or kind of like his big sword, and he stabbed Ichigo, stealing his Fullbring powers, thus kind of making him human, or back to how he was normally. He was just a normal human who could just see ghosts and stuff like that. And yeah, so in my opinion, Asta takes this fight. Because Ichigo doesn't, he's still strong. I'm not saying he's strong, but he's not as strong when he originally had his Fullbring powers. Sorry,
yeah,
when he originally has his Shinigami powers, because this is like a half Shinigami power-ish. Like, he can still use Getsuga, but just not to the full extent as he wants to.
Yeah. So
I give this to
I did what you did, looking at the wiki. Yeah. So the Unite version of Devil Union, I didn't know that there was a Unite version. Unite, after undergoing the Devil Binding or whatever, blah blah. There's a time limit is reached. Asta experiences excruciating full body pain and must wait 30 minutes before he can use his black form again. But also he learns the details about Libe's test, blah blah, and to share. Okay, so then improving the Union even further, greatly enhancing their anti-magic abilities by concentrating Union on one specific part of his body rather than spread it evenly across his body, and it becomes more denser and stronger and extends that time limit to 10 minutes. So he could use it for 5, but once they're in sync and use it only on like one particular part of their body, it goes to 10. And so yeah, with also increasing powers to negate gravity, yeah, so 50 second and stuff like that. Asta, from what it says, I'm gonna be completely honest. His cleverness is 4 and his willpower is 5. His wisdom is 3. I don't know that scaling, but I'm not gonna lie, wisdom being 3 is very terrible. If I had to take a guess. But yeah, that would have to go to Asta, honestly. I would agree.
Yeah, Asta takes this fight, or takes this win.
Yeah. So also, as another thing, he can use his anti-magic to augment his speed to superhuman, such as when he was able to hit larger monsters over 100 feet tall nearly 100 times in a span of a few seconds, a speed than the human eye can see, and also perceiving time only for a little bit. So yeah, he has time manipulation through speed, so that's crazy. Also, he has enhanced instincts, so heightened levels of instincts and demonstrate when he unconsciously moves his body the best way to defend himself. So yeah, so he kind of have like a small like ultra instinct tap in, which Captain Yami did originally tell him like feel the ki around you and sense it. So that's that, but also he heightens it through his abilities that he has. So by all means, that's fair for Asta.
Yeah.
So what, 4 to 6?
Yeah, 6-4.
Yes, and that's the end of Asta because there's nothing else for Asta.
Yeah, if we could go into, I guess, Fullbring, Shikai, and I guess Bankai to speed it up, but yeah, we'll do that actually. So after getting his Fullbring power stolen from Ginjo, Kisuke, Ishin, and Rukia appeared, and Ichigo thought Tsukishima got them too. But then Ishin's like, oh, look who's behind you. Or no, I think, sorry, he got stabbed by a sword, thinking that, like, oh, they betrayed him too, but he says, look behind you, and he sees Rukia. And then Rukia had a sword specially made for Ichigo, made by the other captain, and I think Yamamoto as well, I think, to give back his powers. And when she stabbed him, he immediately got his powers, thus giving him his full Bring Shikai. Same thing, same sword, same attire. This form easily beat Ginjo. He casually swung his sword. He's like, I was a pretty weak Getsuga. And he's like, I wasn't a Getsuga. I just swung my sword, my friend. Until he really unleashed his Getsuga, literally splitting the sky. It was cloudy. It was dark. He swung his Getsuga.
Asta could do the same thing.
Purposely missing Ginjo. Thus splitting the sky, clearing the clouds, seeing the moon. Ginjo was shocked, almost shit himself. And then Ichigo was like, I ain't missing the second time. And then they fought. I think they fought in Fake Card Tour Town, in like a simulation that one of the Fullbringer game kid did.
I forgot his name. I'm not gonna lie.
I forgot his name either too. And then I guess after they fought, Ginjo kind of went Shikai as well, because he kind of stole Ichigo's power, and he kind of like, he's like, I could do that too. And he shot a Getsuga at Ichigo, and Ichigo's like, whoa, and he got hit by it. And then after that, Ichigo's like, okay, it's time. He did the infamous Bankai, thus breaking the little dimension that one of the Fullbringers put him in. Thus, that's how strong it was. It was so strong it broke the pocket dimension that they were in. And then after that, Ichigo was kind of speed bitching Ginjo, and then Ginjo's like, oh, you want to go Bankai for Bankai? Let's go Bankai for Bankai. And he pulls out his Bankai. They were scrapping. Ichigo was kind of speed bitching Ginjo, but Ginjo was kind of holding up. And then Ichigo was kind of getting hits on him. They landed on the ground, and Ichigo twisted his sword as Ginjo was about to swing at him, thrusted, breaking his sword, and in the process killing Ginjo. Yeah. So, and I guess we could talk about 1000 Year Blood War because he hasn't really changed at that point. He beat, I guess I speedrun this a little bit. He kind of beat like a pseudo Quincy Arankar guy that kind of appeared out of nowhere. I don't remember his name. He's kind of fodder at this point. And then he went to Hikamundo to go save I think Haribel or other stuff. There was like some Quincy invasion, a little bit. And he fought a guy named Koge, who was like, I don't think he was a Stern Riddle, but he was just a high-ranking Quincy. Let's say that. They were kind of boxing, and yeah, and then I think he did beat Koge, but then he got back up as Ichigo was like, okay, you have to head back to the Soul Society because everybody needs it, you know, you're that guy. But then Koge like shot out a thing into the portal that Kisuke opened and kind of trapped Ichigo in this like prison thing. Thus he couldn't break out unless with force. And then after a lot of force, he kind of did break out. And funny enough, he kind of got Blue Vein, the little thing, that little like protection that Quincy's have, because he kind of like he was like striking the thing with like all he got. Thus kind of giving him, even though he was already part Quincy, he kind of still got more Quincy power from that by getting Blue Vein. So, and then after he finally broke out, he got the Soul Society. One of the Soul Society people like opened the thing for him, opened the portal for him. Wasted no time. I think the guy there was some Quincy guys like, I'm Quincy, this, and then he just one-tapped him. And then he flew up and after that he flew up high in the Soul Society, or the Serete, however you want to call it, looking at all the people, looking at Byakuya defeated, Renji defeated, Rukia defeated, and he either two things: he flash stepped so fast, or he Sonido. Sonido is a Arankar or Espada equivalent of a flash step. The clip in the sound for it was like kind of like a warping sound. It wasn't like a flash. It was like the sound was like kind of like a warping sound, kind of like teleporting. And like all like the high-ranking Sturmiers, like the, what did they call it? I forgot what they're called, but like Yuhoba's like lower like Quincy people, like he gave like the mold standings. They were like, what was that power? Like it was a power here, it was a high power, and then it just disappeared. And that's when Ichigo threw his sword down in front of Yuhoba, and then he's chatted him out. He's like, "Are you the one to destroy the Soul Society?" And then Yuhoba's like, "That's me." And then in a fit of rage, he bursted out and he started fighting Yuhoba. Granted, this wasn't really a full-powered Yuhoba, I think, but it was still enough that he still dog-walked Ichigo, despite being in his quote-unquote strongest form at that moment. But he still kind of fought a little bit on par with him until he kind of like subdued him, kind of semi-knocked him out, but kind of like planted him inside the ground until Jugurun was like, "Okay, we kind of have to go," and he's like, "Okay." And then Ichigo's like, "Where are you going?" And then he kind of like dashed at him with his sword, and then Jugurun broke his Bankai sword, which of course Jugurun is stronger, I suppose stronger than Ichigo, but not stronger than Yoba, and broke his Bankai so at that point. So yeah. And in terms of how strong he would this Ichigo, this Bankai Ichigo or Shika Ichigo would be against this current Asta, it's up to you.
Oh shit, damn. I would give it to Ichigo, but like Asta with that Zen, and then also like it having literally no fucking range at all. Like range doesn't matter to that shit. I feel like that's a feat that's like absolutely busted, and I don't know like if there's a way to stop Zen at all. But Ichigo, oh my god, bro, Ichigo just fucking busted. he's just broken. I will say this might have to go to Asta though. Yeah, re in the wiki. Yeah, I'm have to.
Yeah, I think Asta still takes this one in my opinion as well. Yeah, so it'd be
5'6".
Yeah, 6'5", 5'6".
Yeah,
I really
a height that Asta will never be at. 6'5", 5'6".
Yeah. Okay. So damn, Asta needs more forms.
Hey, he's trying, bro. He's trying. He's trying, man.
The next form of Ichigo would be his true Shikai, and I guess his true Bankai at that point. So this one is right after Jugeron broke his sword, and then he went to one of the Squad Zero people and he's like, "Can you fix Zangetsu?" He's like, "You can't really fix him because the blade broke in the Bankai state. If it was in Shikai state, it would have been fine, but because it broke in his Bankai, it's kind of gone forever." So as he was in the Soul Palace, he kind of trained.
Oh yeah, we're in Thousand Blood War arc now. Holy shit, Asta's cooked.
He kind of trained with the rest of Squad Zero. He healed with one of the people. He ate. He did all the training and stuff. And because he was quote-unquote Soul King candidate, he kind of did like different training between the other Soul Reapers. Like of course, like for example, Renji learned like his true name of his like Shikai, I guess, or Bankai, I suppose. And then Rukia learned like her Bankai, and like everyone learned like their true names of their like Shikais and stuff like that. But Ichigo went on different training. He kind of went on like Soul King, quote-unquote Soul King candidate training, which was kind of hard because he had to like walk some like road, but like he was also absorbing power at the same time, which kind of put a toll on his body. So like that's why it was kind of hard for him. But in the end, he still pulled through, and then he went to the back to the Zanpakuto creator guy. As he was forging it, instead of one blade, it turned into two blades, thus showing that one half he accepted his hollow half, he accepted his Quincy half. His Quincy half was Zangetsu, and his hollow half was white. He's like, I'm not gonna ask power from both of you anymore. I'm gonna fight for myself, because from the first start they were protecting him, and he's like, okay, now it's for me to protect myself instead of for you guys to protect for me in a way. So now with his true Shikai, he was at that point he was beating everybody. He like on the battlefield everyone was holding their own, of course, but then when people knew and felt his spiritual pressure, and as he was coming down from the Soul Palace, crashing down, everyone's like, that's got to be Ichigo, and he crashed down, easily speed bits the Bambietas, or the Bambies.
Besides one of them.
Yeah, beating all of them. He beat Candace, he beat the other three girls, forgot their names. And then, yeah, he easily, not even 3v1, like there was like other Stern Raiders there. They're like I think Ichigo was on like their hit list, or Yoba was with hit list, and he's like, oh, if you kill Ichigo, you get like a high reward, and everyone's like, okay, I gotta get that kill. So as soon as Ichigo arrived on the battlefield, everybody was going for him. And like even Kenpachi, like after fighting like Grammy, the Bambietas started fighting him, and he was kind of fighting back, but he kind of got overwhelmed because he got electrocuted too many times. And then he stepped in to save Kenpachi, and Kenpachi's like, man, what took you so long? Or he's like, oh, I didn't need your help. And he's like, well, I'm here now. So he easily beat all four of them, or three of them, and the other people. And then I think he went to go fight, or I think fast forward, I don't know what other fights he had before that, but I think afterwards he went to go fight Uryu or Yuhuba, I don't remember which one, but he went to go fight somebody. And he's still strong at that point. Like he was kind of clashing blades or clashing weapons with Uryu at that point, but then, well, the anime does it different, because in the manga they kind of like did clash like evenly. I think I don't remember too notably, but in the anime they kind of added an anime original where Uryu showed his Volt standing, and his Volt standing was a lot stronger than Ichigo's true Shikai, and all it took was one fully strong arrow to beat Ichigo's Getsuga Jushisho, and then piercing his like the side of his abdomen a bit, leaving like a side hole off him. And then of course I had to take Orihime to heal him and stuff like that. And then afterwards he went to go fight Yuba afterwards. I don't know, I might have got those two mixed up, but afterwards he went to go fight Yuba. And of course Yuba was, I think he was already at like quote-unquote full strength until he tricked Ichigo into cutting or destroying the Soul King in half, thus Yuhoba absorbing the power and then thus turning him into the almighty Yuhoba with his like full power and stuff like that, the Soul King. So after that and other stuff like that, this is all like anime original stuff. So like after they like transport all this stuff, like I don't think Ichigo fought anybody else. And then he fought, I think, what's his name, Askin, one of the Stern Raiders that has like a poison, I think, type of thing or something like that. And I think he fought him. I think so. And then I think he got like temporarily like stunned by him until Grimjaw came and it's like, okay, I'll fight him. And then you just go fight Yuba. So yeah, after that, I think it was just all of just like fights he just did until the Yuba fight, and then I think he went Bankai afterwards, or I guess to save time, we'll just say like True Shika Ichigo, and then we'll say like Horn of Salvation in the same quote, because like it's still his True Shikai, just on top of it with his hollow powers in terms of that. Like he still has the 2 swords, and then for the Bankai, he still has just like 1 combined sword at that point. So in the end, like his True Shikai, Yuhoba still beat him until he went Horn of Salvation. He was kind of going toe to toe with him. But what was so crazy is that when Ichigo went Bankai, True Bankai, it scared Yuhoba so much that as soon as he said Bankai and it unleashed it, he broke it instantly, because of course, Yuhoba has like the power of foresight, he can see the future. So he knew that Bankai was too strong, so he didn't want it to exist, so he broke it in half. And along with the help of Aizen and all stuff like that, in the fight, it was just so much happening. And then fast forward, like I think he lost Horn of Salvation or something like that, or he just ran out, because I think that's when Yuhoba broke it. And then I think even Orihime tried healing it, and I don't think it worked. But even though like that was all that, and then I think even Aizen was there, like Aizen helped out and stuff like that, because like why not? And then I think up at that point they quote unquote killed him, and he's like, okay, that's all that. And then I think out of nowhere Yuhoba came on, and I think quote unquote killed Aizen, I think. And then I think he almost killed Ichigo, and Ichigo was like, oh, what are you supposed to do? And then Uryu pulled up with I think Tsukishima and Orihime like pulled up and said like, was your Zanpakuto really destroyed? And then it showed like the crack wasn't there anymore, and it was just fully healed. And then Uryu pulled up with like a special arrow that was specifically made to subdue the Almighty, and it's supposed to Sokin as well. And he shot it at Yuhoba, causing him to be mortal now and stuff like that. And then when Ichigo swung his still Bankai sword, and I think Yuhoba caught it, and he's like, yeah, your Zangetsu is no more, or something like that. And then he cracked it, but that was just like the outside, and then the real blade was inside it. And then after that, he kind of just cut him in half from the waist, from left to right, thus killing him and thus ending the fight and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, Asta's cooked.
Yeah, like Ichigo
like going any further, like it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, like Ichigo has a lot of stuff at that point. So
so now it's 5-7,
yeah.
And moving forward is going to be Ichigo winning.
Yeah, anything after that, we could go into like what's after Thousand Blood? I think it's Hell Arc.
The Hell Arc, yeah.
We're not
and
gonna.
then Hell Arc, Hell Arc is just out of Black Clover's range.
Yeah, like Hell Arc is. I don't think Hell Arc. I could be wrong. I think Hell Arc's finished or not, but Hell Arc is still like. It's still a strong.
And
we'll still say that. He's still strong. We'll say that. So yeah. So.
And then their child is fucking broken as all hell.
Yeah. So yeah. In terms of so 7-5 which is not really a bad number if you would think about Asta. I'll give Asta his props. He put a good fight. I'll say that.
Shout out to all the short kings.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Like he put up a good fight.
Yes, I'm a glorious game.
And I suppose that's really it until we mostly just have to wait until the Black Clover manga continues, and then we might.
And then also see stuff animated.
Yeah, we might come back and do this again. Well, yeah.
Or just do other universes, and that might be fun as well.
Yeah, so comment down below which series we should do versus, or which characters, which anime series we should do versus. Like, should we do like Goku versus, I don't know,
Goku versus anybody at this point.
Goku versus All Might, Goku versus like, I don't know, Mash,
or
Mash
even if it's better, even if it makes it better for y'all, recommend us an anime, we'll watch it and we'll give our thoughts on it too.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll read the manga too. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just not getting into manga.
Yeah, manga, anime doesn't really matter. Recommend us anything at this point, yeah. So
yeah.
Anything you gotta say?
No, besides, it's been fun. I've enjoyed doing this recording with you. It's been fun, and I hope everyone else enjoyed. Make sure y'all like it, subscribe, like the goat said, and of course, this is a collaboration, so my channel is in there. I just uploaded as well, so Hey, why not check me out as well? I do gaming content, just like on Oathkeeper, but yeah.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to me, subscribe to him, and most importantly,
Remember, stay eternal.
Alright guys, take care.